Waiting on Spoon. He just texted me where I'm at. Right here, son. Right here. Making a Facebook post. Look at it. Guess I'm gonna text him. Here now, son. We live. What's up, two viewers? Spoon's not with us. I'm breaking down a little HUD post in Roughneck Real Estate. About to be live on live. Okay. So talking about the magic of it. Pretty good deal. We bought a house, Bandit Sound lead, $67,000. I think we closed on it November, maybe before then. I don't know. Hustled us up our contractor, our go-to. He does a $20,000-$30,000 rehab on it. I don't know where we're all in on that at. I just know it went over. So the magic of this deal is we got a property. We bought it for $67,000. We borrowed 100% of the rehab budget from our lender of what we thought the rehab budget would be. We ended up running over. And so anyways, we ended up with some of our own cash in the deal, but not much, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't have those numbers in front of me, but we did the loan, the hard money loan or the private money loan on accruing interest, which during that time of year is critical because now we don't have to make monthly payments to our private money. That's the magic of that deal, is not having to make monthly payments to it. And now we're getting a $46,000 check on Friday, which will pay us back any money that we have in it, pays our lenders getting all of their interest at that closing, the points to close, the accrued interest, all gets paid to our lender at closing. That's the magic of that deal. So your local guru, your local flipping guru might not even have it that good. I mean, he might, but I don't know. I don't know if he can tell you how to get it or not. We got it that good. Spoonie is coming in. I think we got another deal trying to close. It's a hotel though. We did have to put a roof on it. I wish Spoon would come in and start talking so I could finish my Facebook post. But I guess we'll wait. He said he's on his way with coffee. I'm out of coffee, but got some pretty interesting stuff we're going to be going over to get. Maybe that's Spoon. I don't know what that is. I'm talking with some guy named Steve. So I'm using this list stacking software to throw list into this machine. I'm going to go show y'all something right quick. See if I can share screen. Hold up. Let me get this. This over here. There we go. And get this over here. I'll show y'all something right quick. Share screen. So what I have up here is I have Propelio. You can see what we got going on. You can see all the values. The thing I'm finding about this list stacking software is it loves clean data. And I thought that it would clean up dirty data for us. It's not really like that though. It doesn't. If your data isn't good and clean and formatted properly, it will not clean it up. So it says you need a city and a state or a zip code, but if you only have the zip code, it will not upload that data. So some of the stuff that we've gotten from other markets, we've been trying to upload it. What are you doing, Spoon? You're watching my live?
What up?
You're like really bad.
I'm really bad?
Yeah. I don't know what the deal is.
It's probably because I have streams started up on everything.
You have stream started up?
Yeah, I was watching our YouTube feed and everything else to see. So let me close some of that. It's probably killing my signal.
Hold up. Why did it separate this out?
I was just on the phone with one of our guys from the Bryan College Station Mastermind.
Yeah.
having fun.
How's that going? I can't even, like right now, I'm trying to get, for some reason, there it is. I want to drag this and put it onto my screen here. All right. So, Spoon, this new skip trace or this new stacking software that we looked into, it'll give us the non-uploaded report, right? And then I can download this. So I'm going to download it right quick and see what it. I don't know what completed. No, I don't know what I don't know what I just did, Spoon. But where are you at? Spoon left, so good for him. So what I just did was I just tried to download um, the non uploaded data, and whenever I did that, it didn't do it. So let me add Spoon back on here.
Yeah,
Spoon, where'd you go?
I just I closed the window on accident.
Okay, so I just tried to download the non-uploaded because it's not given a valid address. So if you, it says it needs a zip code or a city and state. So some of that data that Jeremy pulled out for us doesn't have it all. So I just used the zip code because I thought it would be easy to get it set up like that, but it rejected all the ones that didn't have a city and state. So it would not upload them because it says they're not a valid address. Okay.
So so that a lot of times the county tax information doesn't have a zip code appended because they're not tracking it by that. They're tracking it by account number at the county. So we'll just have to add that stuff back.
Well, I get that, but that's not, I mean, look, you say we'll just go get the zip codes. That's not the, what's the process you're going to use to get the zip codes?
Have to come up with one, just like I came up with one to get these VAs to clean up our data the other day.
What's the process? What do you think the process is?
For the zip codes?
Yes.
Well, there's two ways we could do it. We could load it in REI Pro, which would be ridiculously time prohibitive, and you're limited to 2,000 leads. Or we're going to have to find a way to cross-reference it with some other service.
REI Pro would not be my go-to.
That wouldn't be mine either. That would be terrible, putting it all in there.
Well, I mean, you're talking about hiring a VA. This would be what I would do because right now, here's what I've got. I'll see if I can pull one up. Okay, so it says this one right here is not. I tried to download this data just now.
God bless. It's hot in here.
So,
it's hot.
All right.
I want you to know I cleaned up the background in my office so it didn't look so trashy for this.
Okay, that's good.
It is good. You should be appreciative.
See, this doesn't really help either because I think this is right, but I'm not sure that's not right either.
Now, let me just ask Jeremy to work it out. They may have provided the zip code and he just didn't include that field.
No, what happened was I took the owners, so it will clean up the data. Here's the problem. This is the address, but on the absentee fields where because this is the address right here of the property. It's just the owner. Maybe it's not. Let's see if it pulls up anything. I mean, it didn't pull any beds and baths, so that doesn't look like. And that's Coleman Avenue. So it just kind of threw everything up there that it ever sold ever. Here's one that's an expired listing for 35, probably dirt only. And that's probably the issue right there. This is probably a lot. You know what I mean? Like this address is probably a lot.
Right.
So whatever's going on within there, I think the way to do it is to give somebody access to Propelio and just use the add lead feature and search it out. But I mean, this is going to be a while to clean this up, because the next one, I mean, that's all I did. I took the owners. So this owner has a Grandview, Texas owner address, and then, you know, I mean, it's a PO box, but then the street address is going to be probably this Alvarado address right here, and it didn't come up with anything either. Yes, sir. Yeah, I got a mastermind coming up. Can I call you right back? I'm on a live right now, kind of trying to sort through some data. Let me. Okay. All right, they're wanting to come out and do something with us at the Houston Mastermind.
Who's that?
Jet Lending. So ran into Eddie Gant at College Station, and Eddie basically said he wants to be a part of our Roughneck Real Estate year-long mastermind in whatever way, support capacity he could be, which means he's probably going to show up to one of our events. Eddie, for those of you that don't know Eddie, I think he owned over 1,200 rentals at one point in time in the Houston market. I know that he's bought and sold over 1,700 houses, and he owns Jet Lending. So
what's Eddie's last name?
Gant. Gant. You've never heard of him, Spoon?
Absolutely, but I thought I would just give it that way everybody knew who we were talking about. If they,
yeah. So Eddie is somebody that has, you know, he was the one that told me about rentals. He said, "Look, rentals is somebody else buying you an asset. If you don't understand that, you don't understand it. This one's a lot as well." So he's like, you know, they don't make a whole bunch of money. You're not going to get rich on rentals. It's somebody else buying you an asset. You get your equity pay down. He broke it down for me like a shotgun, and I thought, oh man, all of our rentals cash flow. They cash flow well. Well, at the moment they start cash flowing, you got to hire people to help you manage them. You've got to. He sits down every month and line by line goes over every property with his property management, because, you know, I mean, he said it best. The person that pays attention to the money is the person who makes it. So if you leave it up to property management, they're the ones counting your dollars. Guess what? They're going to be the one making the money, because they're going to be charging you $500 to replace a toilet and stuff like that. Not because they're being nefarious, but because that's easier. It's way easier to throw money at a problem than it is to actually go out and fix it. Would you agree or disagree, Spoon?
Oh, it's so much easier to throw money at a problem.
So much easier. So when it's somebody else's money, it's a lot easier to throw that money at it. So anyways, I don't know how we're going to go about cleaning up this data. I do hope, and I think that we can download this report. It just didn't download it. I hit the download button. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, I know what happened. 0 selected records. So if I select all right here, and then I hit download. So action is add to database. I don't know what that means. Download, and it's downloading. That's good. So maybe it downloads it. We'll see here in a second. But this database that we're using, and everybody kind of came back at us. They jumped at us whenever I said, you know, list stacking, like we haven't stacked lists before. We just always use Excel.
Hey man, I just typed in zip code a pin. I mean, for $80 a month, here's a company that'll do 10,000 a month automatically. You just push it through their system. So
okay, what's the
$50 for 5,000? There's plenty of ways to do it.
What's the company name?
Smarty Streets. That's the first one.
Okay. I just wonder if it's not a U.S. postal address, if it's a lot that doesn't have, it's never received mail. I wonder if it's always going to kick it out.
I don't know. That's going to cause problems on ones, especially if you're rural where they don't have a street address. They just have it just says county road, whatever. We see that a lot in our county. I'm sure you do down in Limestone County.
Yeah, no, I uploaded. Let me see what I've uploaded into there so far. So far, my dashboard on this, I've uploaded, and I haven't even started in Houston. I've uploaded 22,685 records.
And how many do you get a month, or is it a lifetime
I
amount?
think it's a lifetime, but it don't matter. You can pay for up to 10 million. So So this is just the first one we're trying out. I'm not mentioning the name right now because I don't know how much I like it at this moment. One thing it does do very well is as soon as the information goes in, whether it's CSV or Excel or whatever, you don't have to format that. You just throw information at it, and when you throw that information at it, it dissects it. And once you've uploaded, so like I was uploading from Rebo Gateway, right? Once I uploaded one list from Rebo Gateway, it when you go back the next time, it remembers the fields. You know, your mapping. So you're telling it where to get the address from, where to get the owner's name of both the property address and the mailing address. Once you've done that one time, it'll do it. So if you're getting your list from any of these services, Propelio, Rebo Gateway, anywhere else you can get a list, it's good. When we did our tax delinquent data, when I uploaded it in, it rejected 10,000 of the addresses. So we had 13,000 addresses. It rejected 10,000 of them. So it only uploaded 3,000. And it did it because it didn't have a good postal address. Well, all of those 10,000 I know right now are the absentee owners. I know that because the only way I could get the information was to take to build my own Excel column because for whatever reason, in the tax delinquent data we had did not have a property address, city, zip, everything, and a mailing address, city, zip, and everything. So I just doubled it up just to see what it would do when it went in there. Spoon, you got me muted, so you must not want to talk. Definitely not listening.
No, I was playing call rail messages in the background while you're talking. They were coming in on Podio from your stuff. I was just
They're coming in on Podio.
yeah, from your stuff yesterday.
So it is. So they when they call back, it goes to Podio.
Well, so all Podio does is collect the instance of it. So it says it doesn't really. It still goes to call rail, but it'll actually forward. Hey, we just had this happen in call rail. Here's a link to the call, and you can just click the link and listen to it without having to be in call rail.
So I did not have that set up until this morning.
Oh, okay.
Not the
Hello? You just locked up, homie.
Podio, but you hear me?
I can hear you now. You locked up on me.
So I didn't have the call forwarding number set up in there, and it wasn't easy to find. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I like this. So yesterday I sent all of those text messages with no call forward number on there, and I don't know why it would allow me to do that, but it wouldn't allow me to do anything if I didn't have a Podio link to it.
Right, but then how can they text you back because you can't interface in that software, right?
No, you can't. No, you can text back, but the calls that came back off that. So everybody I text yesterday that was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna call this person," I didn't have the forwarding number set up. It made me link up the Podio, which I thought took care of that. And anyways, I didn't have it set up. So the text message I was getting back this morning were all, "I called you. You're a scam artist." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Well, that sucks, but hey, we learned something. So we definitely learned to have that call forward set up, I guess.
No, I set it up. I mean, but I couldn't find where to set it up at. That was also another ridiculous thing where you've got the phone numbers that you pick and choose and all that. You would think it would say, "Hey, call forward," but it's not. It's under another tab that you got to go look for, and you got to know to look for it. You know what I mean? So, anyway.
Yeah, and what I found through my texting adventures is not that we text because everybody says it's bad for your health. Is if you don't answer, you have a much higher chance if they call you back. If you answer that live and be like, "Hey, yeah, I'm real," it makes the scam factor go out the window very quickly. Me and Nick have experienced that a lot in the last 2 days.
Okay.
So we're running a round robin. Basically, it calls both of us.
Well, I forwarded it to that number. So, I mean, it should be ringing y'all's phone now.
I turned my ringer off earlier. I can tell you here in just a minute.
Okay.
Turn it back on.
I mean, regardless of what's going on, as I set this up and get it ran out, I think the software has a lot of good. I think it has a lot of you know what I mean? One, I don't know what the actual cost of it is yet because I haven't done enough in scale. You know, right now I think we've spent $300 trying this out, and got a mixed bag of results. But preparing for this, because somebody asked me directly about it in El Paso, and I felt dumb for not knowing. You weren't in El Paso, so you weren't there to answer those texting questions. And then I got to think, I was like, you know what? I need to go run some of this text software because I don't like, you know me. I don't want to sit here in front of this fucking computer and fucking click a mouse all goddamn day. You know what I mean?
I do.
I don't want to do that. But you know, some people like investing from their mom's basement. So that's.
And I'm one of those people. Corey has to slap me around and be like, "Hey, get the fuck off your computer."
Well, I don't necessarily know that, but I was looking at the text follow up, the auto scripts on here, and I can't get them. I mean, you're going to have to get in there and figure it out because they have all these automatic messages that they'll respond if it's positive or negative, but I can't figure out how to fucking turn it on. So it's another, like, if I'm going to go stand in front of a crowd of people and tell a bunch of laid off roughnecks how to use this software, it's got to be damn near idiot proof. You know what I mean? And right now, as an idiot trying to run it, the guy that I'm chatting with on the chat bot or the chat messaging, he's like, "Man, you came a long way. You've done a lot of stuff today." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm smart enough to figure this stuff out." But you know, I put in all of our response because they've got all these positive responses that say, "Okay, you know, why are you looking to sell?" Or you know, how many bedrooms, how many baths? Would you say you'd want to sell in the next 6 months or the next 3 months? You know, a whole bunch of fucking pop quizzes. You know what my response was? On positive, what do you think it was, Spoon?
On positive?
Yeah.
When can I see it?
When can I see it? That's it. I'm not. The only response I put in there was sweet. When can I see it? But I can't figure out how to turn it on. So a negative response would say, "Hey, thanks. You know, I'll take you out or whatever." I liked all their negative responses, but I can't figure out how to turn on the auto response. So I thought it was going to have like this automation that was going to get it to the next level. And then all you do is click a button and it sends it over to Podio, which we don't really use, but it's whatever. If that's what it needs to do, that's what it needs to do. I can see the power of it, but if I can't figure out how to use it, and then the worst part, the absolute worst part, if I'm going to be on my bitch soapbox, is whenever I go to Google and I Google, how do I use this shit? Or in YouTube, how do I use this shit? You know what it all is? You know what all of their videos that come up whenever I Google how to use it? Promotional videos from a guy like me or Spoon. 8,000 promotional videos. Man, I use it and it's great. I use it and it's great. And which, if I did use it, knew how to use it, it would be great. But if I could just get a how-to summary on your website, like here's how you use the software. Here's where you go click. Here's something you need to do. Like make sure you got a forwarding number on. You know what I mean? But they don't make that easy to find. But Jesus, their promotional videos are right there at the top. Like, so all my bitches and gripes. So anyways, maybe I'll take that auction out of the room for them. Maybe whenever I figure out how to use it, I make the how-to video on how to use it, and R2R can get those YouTube views.
Man, finally. I keep just trying to click on SMS settings and it doesn't do anything.
Is that not annoying?
What the fuck does it do? It's got a drop down, but it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything. And then
so I would tell you, I mean, even if we could kick this, so we've tried out some other software lately, like REI Black Book that we're still farting around with, but I haven't been able to get, like, it is very powerful in some ways. Obviously, it's limited for us. It doesn't help us the way we typically work. But I don't understand why we can't just get smarter flows, because I just need it, like certain things, like it text them one thing, like, "Hey, I'm on the other line. I'll call you right back," and stop texting them. But the way ours was set up, it just texted them that shit over and over. Like it couldn't stop after the first time. So that's what I got to go back and figure out. Like because it's obvious it becomes a scam bot, you know. Now, where I do think bots are incredibly powerful is probably Facebook marketing, because it's kind of clear that it's a bot and it's just gathering that stuff. That's
Some of these
go ahead.
Facebook user says, I don't know who Facebook user is. You have to connect the autoresponder to your phone number you're texting from. I don't know what that means. It like I don't want necessarily like just what Spoon said. I want it to respond one time. That's it. You know what I mean? I want it to get the next piece of information. And I really don't even need that because at scale, you know, you see so many people that are talking about scale and all of that. We have a massive amount of man hours on our team that are all starving to death right now because we keep trying new highfalutin shit that requires a lot of man hours to run. You know what I mean? And bandit signs are still the coolest when it comes to lead source. It's like
I've got 500 of them outside my house right now and 100 in my garage, and they all need to go out.
Well, and we're about to order some more on Friday. Friday, we're getting a $46,000 check, so we're going to go ahead and get our 3,000 or 4,000 bandit signs, order in, get them printed up, and get them back here and get them in the shop. Actually, printed bandit signs. The ones y'all are putting out there are handwritten. I mean, they're doing all right, but I've always seen a better response rate on printed ones. So
I don't think so. It's funny, man, because every time we put out signs, somebody copies us. Right, there's somebody that puts out signs exactly like your old ones, so we had to change up the game. They were, literally, like they took a picture of them, and had the same ones made. We started putting out these new ones, and now that's all I'm seeing is the same exact signs. It's ridiculous, but I guess that's a compliment in some way.
well, it is. I mean, but I look, bandit signs, the ones y'all put out, we've been getting a ton of calls from investors. We've got that one that Nick's got to follow up with. It looks like a deal that I hope he gets knocked down.
Oh,
that,
man.
That lady's like trying to nail Jello to a wall, though, and she seems a little batshit. So see how it comes out.
Somebody just texted right now, or called in. So that one number that you sent that to, the message says, "Hey, this is Jason on the phone, just so you know."
That's what it says?
Yeah. It's Jason on it, because I was using text messages that said, "Hey, this is Jason. I'm trying to get a hold of this person."
So I don't see any. I mean, no new text messages came in.
Oh, I just got a missed call from that number, but it may be coming off the stuff Nick's doing.
It might be. I mean, because Nick's what is Nick running out on?
Lead Sherpa.
Lead Sherpa. So I mean, this is set up the same way as Lead Sherpa. You have to click every one, and I'm about to pull out another deal. Some of the cool stuff that it does do is it won't double menu for skip tracing. It won't let you send. So let's say you've got somebody that you've already text messaged, it won't let you hammer that person again. It'll automatically remove them if you tell it to. You know what I mean?
And that's the way I've set up Lead Sherpa too. Like I don't want to mess with people. There's no point in bothering people.
Right. So that's good. I thought it would take out the opt outs automatically. I thought whenever somebody said stop or opt out or whatever those keywords are, I've even said fuck you to on text messages that I've gotten sent. You know what I mean? For CBD oil and Dick Largent pills and all the other stuff that they auto send, I've said fuck you, and their data, their text bot recognizes that's a negative response. It says great, I'll remove you. You've been removed or whatever.
Yeah, and Roar does that, so I don't know. I'll have to dig into Lead Sherpa to see what the settings are there, and I'll try to dig into this other one today. I got to be honest, man. My first impression, as far as the stacking, is fine, but the rest of it's a clunky piece of software. You know, that's what we see across the board. Is we have all these onesies and twosies. Nobody's been able to put together a comprehensive piece of software that does everything.
True, but this one thing it does do is what you spent 6 hours doing the other night. It
Absolutely.
takes when that data goes in, it comes out with the capitals. Like it's not the words are no longer in all caps, the names are no longer in all caps. You know, so a lot of the data you get has the names in all caps or the address in all caps, and now you're yelling. You know, it's got an auto fill to where it's like, hey, Susan, do you want to sell blah, blah, blah Main Street? And Main Street's all caps and Susan's all caps. So you're yelling at somebody, you know.
And I'll tell you what, even if it just took blank rows out of an Excel document, so a couple hours out of that time the other night was trying to figure out a process. Now I got it down. It's probably only going to take 30 minutes a piece, but I had to remove 60,000 blank lines because the output form was every other one, right? If it just does that for you, that's a huge deal. If it goes through and deletes all the records that don't have numbers, if it can do stuff like that, again, that's a huge win.
So somebody's on here that's using it. I don't know who this is, but
on what?
It's bullshit. Only use the stacking feature. I don't know because they didn't opt into whatever StreamYard makes them opt into. So I don't know who's talking to us. But anyway,
Tyler Epstein says he's 1/5 of our audience.
This is true. Well, that was earlier though, whenever we only had 5. So, anyways, I'm gonna be running marketing to the Houston. They're down there going at the other end. But anyways, I'm gonna be running marketing to Houston today for the first time ever. I mean, we're going into Houston to do this marketing mastermind. The guys that are in R2R that support us, great. But Houston has always been the most hateful market I've ever been around in my entire life. From a investor perspective, like it's so cliquey and so I don't know what the word is. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever tried to sell a deal in Houston, Spoon?
No, I've tried to do out of San Antonio and Austin before, and I just didn't have luck down there. Of course, I didn't have the chops to actually get the deal done either. So that's probably a lot of it.
Well, I do have the chops to do stuff in Houston. I just don't have the desire because whenever you put a deal out in Houston, you better have. I mean, it's just so. I mean, you'll have 800 people try to snake your deal.
So go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the person providing all that those answers, it's bullshit. I only use the stacking feature. It keeps sending the same text over and over because you don't have stop words in the fallback message. Is Chris Jackson. So he's chiming in with his experience.
Well, and Chris is somebody that has done this virtually for a long time, so he knows. But if it's formatting data, and then you figure out how to sift through that data, that's all I need. Because between Propelio and Rebo Gateway, I'm basically taking all the slow moving motivation, right? The motivation that doesn't have a timetable on it, like probate, bankruptcy, all that, and I'm overlaying it. And I can have, I mean, I'll probably have a list of 1,000 with at least 3 layers of motivation by the end of today in the Houston market alone. What are you giggling about, Spoon?
I'm just laughing at some of the comments.
What are the comments?
Oh no, this is in your Roughneck group. You guys, you got just such savage people in there.
What are they doing?
Oh, nothing.
The Facebook group is doing its thing?
Yeah, it's doing its thing, man. The Valentine Love is talking about your Tinder account. So
my Tinder account was a house buying account. It's still out there floating around, but I don't know that I can get on there anymore.
Apparently, the easiest way to get a hold of you is to look in Pornhub videos for the comments. That's the easiest way to find you.
Yes, this is greatness.
Man, there's a bunch of jackasses in that group.
Well, hey, I'm gonna go cut a video on how to set up a call rail. I'm gonna set up a call rail, and I'm gonna start sifting through this data. One thing I do say, because the data append in the software, I mean, it's cheaper than the data append we're doing right now, and it seems like it's just as good data. You know what I mean? It's 100% data append. It's not skip tracing. I mean, from a data append point of view, we'll be using it in our class. It's going to be too easy not to upload it in there and get the data back really fast.
Well, it's a combat multiplier.
What do you mean?
Because it's half the price. You can do a lot more marketing in that class.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, but it'll give us the data back really fast. It's been turning around the list in 30, 40 seconds, which is pretty cool. You know what I mean? Because you're getting it back. Now, most people don't realize when they're doing that, they're not getting actual skips they're getting appended data. Most people don't know the difference. Skip Genie is the only person I know, the only one I know that provides actual skip trace data. Um, and it's at the exact same price. The problem is the turnarounds a day or so.
I've seen a lot. I've seen one outfit this week saying that they're getting credit reporting level data. So I don't know if that's true or not, but they say they have it.
Yeah, but that's not that's you need to go read Larry's post about the difference between that, because credit data is credit data. Apparently, I just always believe that everything comes from credit data too, but apparently that's not the case in Skip Genie. I know on the one-offs in Skip Genie, like whenever we're doing all of our local pools, when we're pulling local sub trustees, when we're doing all that local stuff, it doesn't get any better. You do the caller ID search and you're on the phone with them in one call, and that's about to be $99 a month, unlimited. What's that for?
We got new Magnum markers
Yeah, but what's that for?
down the street.
Okay, we need to get a live call number and put it on there.
Like my number.
No, a live call number. We're moving to a different system. So when we do for rents, the people that call will capture them in a different way, and we'll be able to auto respond and send them the property and not have to do all that. We're setting it up. Nothing we're doing. So we're taking all of our rentals and we're putting them on live comm numbers to where we can now get them all off of the company line and into usable data from the jump. We haven't implemented it yet because we haven't bought our live comm numbers. But
Are you going to use it? So that one, just so everybody knows, that's Mitch Stevens' company.
Yes.
And it was set up specifically for things like that. He has a very specific method that him and Dan use. And they could probably learn that from Dan if they came to your mastermind.
In Vegas, no doubt. I mean, it's $2 a month per number. So think about it like this. We got properties in Canyon. We got properties in Harlingen. We got properties here in Groesbeck. Now you get a live comm number on there. It's a local number that they're calling. As soon as they call it, you can forward it to whoever you want to forward it to at that moment in time. You can forward it to Jason. You can forward it to Corey. You can forward it to the local person there in that town. But it captures that number. Now you can text market them. So basically you can put an auto text response on there and it can send a text message with a link from our appfolio that says, hey, here's the property you're calling about. Here's the vacancies available. Please go in here to set up a time. And now we have that data captured and we can retext and all that stuff. And we don't have to worry about it.
And they specifically built that for the issues that surround SMS. It records specifically when they opt into this stuff, when they call you on your number the first time, so that you have all the records you need to protect yourself with SMS marketing.
Well, and then whenever you have that number, so let's say let's say you own a property and you got a sign in the front. If it's a live comm number that's on the sign in the front, okay, every person that calls to inquire about it at any moment in time, they may not want that unit at that moment in time. But you have another unit go vacant in a month. Now you can mass text everybody that's ever called that number all at once and say, hey, we just had a unit go vacant. But implementing that system and getting Whitley to actually run it,
What do you mean?
I mean, every time we try to do something like that, we get shit on. So we understand it over here on our side because we're always trying to buy houses and we're looking at that deal. But whenever I seen the post about LiveCom the other day, I looked into it. They use it to owner finance houses. We can use it to owner finance houses as well. But it's $30 a month plus $2 a number. I mean, that's going to be $50 a month versus paying, an answering service or something like that, something out the ass to try to do the same thing.
Well, and the way Mitch sets his up, he talks about it in his book. I've seen him talk about it in person. It's so specific. He's grabbing them twice with LiveCom numbers specifically. And he don't even talk to nobody on the phone about a property the way he runs it until they've gone to the property and looked at it.
I know that. I know that. But just looking at when you look at the overview of the system, it doesn't explain it that in depth. Like, I was like, hey, you can basically have this route them all the way to the property and get it because I've called those signs that start trying to route you to the property. You know what I mean? They give you the voice message. Hey, look, thanks for calling. Here's the property address. You know what I mean? Call this number to set up a time, whatever it is. And now you set it up. But the problem is everybody wants to know how that looks before they'll ever spend the money to try it. We're the exact opposite. We'll spend money. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I got
in a very
$30.
haphazard fashion.
Yeah. Here's $30. Let's see if we can make this work.
It's so funny to me, man. It still blows my mind. Like, I get questioned every day, like, hey, what do you think about this service, man? Have you tried it? I'm like, no, but you should just throw $30 at it. It's a free month service. You get a month before they charge you. Go do it.
That's it. No, I mean we're the same way. Like we've been. I mean, heck, I spent $300 yesterday trying out a new system. If I get one deal out of it, how many times does that pay for that $300?
I don't know if that guy ever responded to me. Some dude got in my group and started trying to sell leads. And of course I asked him, I'm like, he was wanting 10 cents a lead for whatever equity leads. And I'm like, so are these leads you're getting for free for a month from, Vacant House Data Finder? What are you trying, what are you trying to sell? Because it just implodes my mind that these people anybody won't pony up for something that they could do and just try it.
Well, there was another guy that came into Roughneck Real Estate the other day and said he was selling warm leads. Like, at what point is it warm? Because they want to sell? I got a lot of people that want to sell $1 million for a $100,000 house. You know what I mean? What's a warm lead? What's an actual warm lead? Define it. You know what I mean?
That depends on who you are.
Yeah, it depends on who you are. It depends on what point you're buying. But they're coming in here, hey, let me sell this, let me sell that. You know what those are? I mean, those are entrepreneurs in a way. But you know who gets those, who buys into that? Somebody that's brand new. They don't know how to negotiate it. They go out there, they blow it up. They just spent $1,500. You know what I mean? They don't even know how to monetize the lead. And it's a shame. We got a $100 class that goes over all that. And 125 now because our turnout on these, we got to have basically 15 people to break even. And I mean, it's not a bad day, but the one in Cleveland that's coming up, there's only 3 people that have signed up, and I'm not gonna not do Cleveland. You know what I mean? I don't have the support in Cleveland that I have in a market like Houston. So you got to sell more tickets in Houston to be able to go to Cleveland and do the exact same thing. People keep asking, Spoon, they want to know why I'm doing this. Do you know why I'm doing this?
Oh, I know. I do tell.
You don't? You really don't? Yeah. Tell them why you think I'm doing it.
What's that?
I want to know why you think I'm doing it.
Oh, I think there's a couple reasons you're doing it. One, you actually like helping people get something for their money and helping people take off. But I also think that you're kind of thumbing your nose at a lot of the big gurus that are teaching a fuck ton of. Let me say that a different way. They're charging a fuck ton of money, a whole bunch of money, for something that is not a whole lot of value. And I'll tell you this. For what's that?
Ambiguous information.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you this, like I'm not knocking the dudes because I got what I paid for because I went into it without doing research. We've talked about it over and over. I paid $5,000 to learn how to send direct mail. With that caveat, I wasn't part of their mastermind. I wasn't part of all the other stuff that I could have done because it didn't work with my schedule and my life. So I can't blame that on them because there's a lot of stuff that said you point one finger at them, there's 4 pointing back at me, right? But what we gave away in the College Station Mastermind, the amount of information that was slung at people in 8 hours is literally 2 years worth of my learning. It's 5-10 years of your learning of all the bullshit we've done, just fucked up stuff. However long you've been doing this, 5 years. Like for $100, you can come and learn all the shit not to do.
Well, I see
all the money.
Check this out. You know who Fortunes Builders is, right?
I don't know I know the name of all those groups.
But Fortune Builders is no doubt a well put together program, well put together. No, zero doubt.
But I've heard good things about it.
I've heard great things about it. But do you know what you get when you get into a Fortune Builders room?
I heard you get upsold. to a higher
You're
level.
definitely gonna get upsold. But do you know what you actually get? You get the other people that paid to be in that room. Okay.
Mm.
So you get around a bunch of people that at least had $25,000 to get in the same room that you got.
Gotcha.
And then every little add-on that you do is more money. You know how I know this? We had eight fortune builder people in our El Paso mastermind. 8. Okay. Now, I don't know the value of the information that's in their internet marketing class that they're selling you for $4,000 or $5,000. I know it's 3 days, right? So it's going to be more in depth. It's going to be better information. About it on technical data, maybe not. Maybe it's just I don't know. I can't even speculate, right? But I do know this: when I'm in the room and I've got 6 people who have been to Fortune Builders and have paid a massive amount of cash to get into that network. Okay, they got their money's worth for getting into that network. But now, whenever it comes to the nuts and bolts on how to do this, they got 100 more times more value on negotiations and marketing in our 1-day class. Those are their words, not mine. Okay, other people have paid tens of thousands of dollars. One person paid $2,500, and then they found out that another guy in the class paid $8,000 to the same guy for the same information. So one of them got it for $2,500, the other one got it for $8,000. Exact same dude, sold them at 2 different prices, and gave them the exact same thing. Okay, a list of affiliate links with a handful of videos on how to use them. There's been and one person was talking about the quality of the content that they paid like $500 for, and I was like, dude, it's $500 for a video on how to do whatever, and it's like a series of videos, but they weren't happy with the quality of the content, and I was like, God, can you go do what they sold you on how to do after that? And he's like, yeah, I probably can. Well, then don't worry about the quality of it, because if his baby's crying in the background or whatever, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? He took time out of his day to put together 5, 6, 7 hours worth of videos, whatever it is, so you could go hire or do whatever it is that he was trying to teach you how to do in the video. I hear it, you know what I mean? And then in Nashville, we had a dude that paid $5,500 to get into a group to learn how to daisy chain, and not even daisy chain like daisy chain, learn how to daisy chain at scale. To basically wedge yourself in the middle of cash buyers, in the middle of wholesalers. Okay, wedge yourself in the middle and have the wholesalers believing that you're a cash buyer, and have the cash buyer believe that you're a wholesaler the entire time that they know you. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
I do. Yeah.
I was like, very interesting model. Like, a lot of deception in that model. A shitload of deception in that model. But $5,500 for that information, and then you're out there doing like really fraudulent, like, you got real elements of fraud there, real elements, like not fucking internet like fake elements. Like, this is real elements of fraud, like representing yourself as something that you're not it's going to create some problems for you. It's going to create something down the road if some shit were to hit the fan. I would like to know how they keep that from happening. You know what I mean? Like, how I would love to know how they, what they say about the legality of it if you end up in a courtroom, not necessarily arrested, but in a lawsuit or something like that. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I do. I mean,
so yeah,
go ahead, man.
It's upsetting. It's upsetting. Those things are upsetting. But how do you combat that? How do you actually fight it? Do you get on the internet and throw a fucking fit about it? I mean, that's what I've been doing. No,
I don't.
You give somebody an alternative. You put something in place that they can actually get value out of, and you steal all the oxygen from the room. And at the same time, like, the real motivation is to help people change their lives. You know what I mean? At a fee that doesn't bleed them dry, and an ethical way of doing it. Not taking somebody's money and then giving them my affiliate links to further enrich myself, and then tell them they got to pay me more money if they want some actual information.
Well, I mean, I don't even have people problem selling affiliate links. Just tell them that's what you're doing. Like, this is a this is a money grab. I got to make money. This would help me out. Like, say what it is.
Well,
Um,
and
but
on the affiliate links, I messaged that guy that did the rant about SMS. You know what I mean? He sent me a whole bunch of information when he was starting his skip tracing company, or maybe he just bought it. I don't remember, but he sent me a whole bunch of information about it. And I said, you know what? If you'll do this for free for the group or something along those lines, or if you give me some free access or whatever, you might be the first affiliate link I ever take. And I never heard back from him. And
was this the guy that did which rant about SMS?
the guy that you've been telling me about, that dude, whenever I looked into him, me and him had conversations in the DM.
Oh, the dude that was talking about how bad SMS is.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was offering me an affiliate link. I don't even know back when.
To do what? To sell SMS?
No. Skip tracing, I believe.
Well, so here's one thing we do need to do. We need to go out. We need to try to. I'll try to get in touch with ListSource. I want to see if we can get a group price for ListSource. Not many people use it, but it is a great place to pull very certain lists. If you're looking for stuff, we don't use a lot of equity lists.
You can equity list in Propelio.
You can. And I haven't even tried to. I should really try them against each other. They may be the same info. If that's the case, then you can get it for free through them.
You know it's CoreLogic info. You got to know. Where's this info come from?
Well, I mean, there's only two providers. There's CoreLogic and one other one. I can't remember what the other one is. But
I mean, I think I don't know how it works. I've never asked Propelio how their national leads work. I just know this. I pulled a vacant house list in El Paso off of Propelio this week and sent every single one of them to RVM, and they were vacant. A lot of them that were coming back were vacant. And so wherever they're getting that data, I don't think it's CoreLogic. I think that's some other integrated whatever. And I've never been a fan of that stuff. I've never been a fan of it. I think getting equity and all that kind of stuff, I think there are filters that you can use to get it. But guess what? When you're getting that information, who else is getting that information? Everybody. So it requires more work than just that.
I agree with that.
But
So
Propelio provides 90% of the filters that you haven't played with it, I guess.
yes, I have. The only thing they don't provide right now is the ability to filter up to levels of equity and like time on market, like last day on market sold, like last day sold.
Propelio,
Huh?
Propelio has that.
Oh, okay. Then I did not see that functionality. I will have to go back. I retract my previous statement.
If when it comes to that 3 cent data, I think there's some things. I mean, you can even search mobile home parks and stuff like that in Propelio. You can get that specific. It looks similar to ListSource to me. Propelio's national leads.
Well, it'll be easy then. It'd be easy to figure out if it is or isn't. But if the data is good, that's all that matters. Like I said, there's only two providers.
Right. Well, the thing we got, like we did, we found some filings in El Paso that I'm going to be going over in Houston. I don't know, man. I really shouldn't even put it out there. I really shouldn't.
I'll stop talking. Like I found stuff yesterday that I'm not going to put out for a while because I want to test it. Because I know it's one of those things that the moment you put it out there, like if 3 people do it, it taps that market.
Yeah, but we talked about it in College Station, and I said I didn't know where to find the filings at. I found the filings. I found them. I found it, and there's like 5 different names for that type of deed, and and they all just get thrown in this one trash can.
Oh, that's interesting. So I know what you're talking about. That's
exactly what I'm talking about. And I found it in El Paso, and I'll bet you it's the same way in every county. And we also, there's. Have you ever had to do an affidavit of death?
I've never done that. I've done affidavits of heirship, tons of those, but never affidavit of death.
Okay, so affidavit of death is kind of will supplement for a death certificate in a title clearing situation. Same principle. You get somebody to sign off that this person's dead. I mean, it's not very hard. Looking up affidavit of death will lead you down a rabbit hole of really intriguing things. But the problem is, whenever you're looking at the affidavit of deaths, it's 90% of the time it's a filing that takes place to clear title, so the property's already sold. But it got me into a rabbit hole that I just find fascinating, like absolutely fascinating. And we're doing it, we're doing it live in class like we always do. We're pulling these public filings, but really and truly, all these VA gurus and stuff like that, if they can't, you should be able to put this sort of stuff onto a filing or onto a VA and have this fresh data coming to you every day. Because I mean, in a county like Dallas, I mean, how many of those filings do you think happen every day?
Not many.
Not many. Yeah.
Even I mean, in the point of what he's saying, that's a huge county. If there's only a certain, and that's why I don't know, man. So some of these things I don't think are worth putting out just because you're cutting your nose off to spite your face kind of deal. But I know you will, because that's what you do.
Here's what I know. I know this. Everybody talks about building a system and scaling and all this old horse shit, right? What does it take to scale?
Money.
It takes money to scale, so I ain't got to worry about them. The only thing they can do is the award will always go to the hustler, the person that can sit there and pull that filing every single day, get off their fucking couch and go knock on that door. Is going to win out every single time. So that's why I don't necessarily put it out there, because these fucking gurus that are gonna throw some money at the problem still ain't gonna beat me. If I've got a hungry DJ on line one, I can pull that at 8 o'clock in the morning, and the DJ can be there at their door way before anybody else finds out that filing exists.
That is man, that's really interesting.
Just the facts.
Well, and like the other thing people don't understand about scaling is they think scale. So I was in my mentorship that I paid for, right? There's different ways to pay for membership or mentorships. I'm probably Corey's first and only. I don't know. I don't know if I'm your first real mentee or whatever you would call it. Maybe you had others, but I'm definitely the one that put up with the most shit and ate the most shit.
One that hung around.
Yeah, I mean, so there's guys like that will just eat shit like me to learn stuff. There's very few of those people, and then there's people that want the easy button. They want to pay for stuff. They just want to pay money and get a bunch of knowledge and walk out the door. But a lot of times that don't work out, right? So I was talking about this with Tyler earlier. A lot of people want to pay for the easy button, but you can't pay for the action that's required even when you have the easy button. So over this last year and a half, I talked to Jacob about this Saturday. I've been really, really, really struggling with trying to understand exactly what we're doing. And a lot of it breaks down to my own laziness, because I have so much bullshit in my life. I got these kids, like my schedule's insane. Corey tried to call me at 8 o'clock this morning. I'm like, I can't fucking talk till after 9:30 till we get the next round of school. And these are all life excuses we make, right?
You're not saying kids are bullshit. You're saying I want you to clarify, because it came out kind of harsh.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't try to be harsh.
You're saying you got bullshit in your life.
Yes.
And kids.
Yeah. I'm not saying my kids are bullshit. No, I didn't mean like that.
I get it.
That there's so much stuff that is so important. Whether it's going to it doesn't matter what it is. Yesterday I was out till 7:30 waiting or doing appointments, right?
Well, think about this. Like to make your point, I'm having another child, right? You know that. But other than the people on this live that are watching, the 11 people that are watching right now, the rest of my squad, I mean, my immediate circle knows that, but nobody else. And whenever she went to put it on the internet, I told her, I said, look, here's the deal. I get it. We're excited. All that. We're good to go. Okay. That's us. That's our inner circle. That's this, right? You know what I mean? But I don't want to be tagged on any sort of post at all on the internet, because I don't want to deal with the bullshit that's going to come along with it. And she's like, why would you say that? And I was like, look, you don't understand. You know what I mean? Like you don't get what that will cause for me. And I'm not talking about drama. I'm just talking about the congratulations. Like, I don't want to deal with the congratulations. Like, I don't want to deal with none of that. Like, I just want to, focus on what I got right now, And then when the baby boy gets here, like, you know what I mean? Like, well, hey, look, I magically a kid appeared out of thin air, and he's a boy, and he's a savage. I might even make his middle name Savage.
I love it.
Like,
But
I might swap that up on him.
and one, congratulations again. Two, I just want to be clear because I don't want that coming back. Like I'm not talking about my family being bullshit. I'm talking about life. Life is just, it's full of stuff that it throws at you. So these excuses we have where I have been lazy, not knowing parts of our business or trying to learn them on my own because it was too easy to call Corey or too easy to call Jacob and be like, hey, this is some bullshit. What do I need to do here? Instead of just like sitting down and trying to figure it out one time, right? So and that kind of goes throughout your whole life. With these systems, I had to do like some deep soul searching over the last weeks. Like, I know what I got to do to make money. I don't need Corey to tell me because I've been doing this 2 years, right? That's why I sat down and broke down these files the other night and just said, this, okay, I broke it down once, broke it down a second time. Now I'm going back to write an SOP on how to break these files down. So I can hand that to somebody else and never fucking deal with it again.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It gets really difficult, and you know, we building out an accidental team. It's like, and we've gone through this where I've like, man, I just, you know, everybody wants to ask how does this work, and I'm like, I just look at my bank account every day, and you know, and I got to go do something, and that solves itself for me. You know what I mean? But you know, I've these hard conversations like with a personal life and stuff like that, like the girl I'm dating right now, I just tell her. I told her this morning. You know what I mean? I was like, hey, you know, you can be sad all day. I don't care. It's a decision you got to make. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to participate because I've got things I got to go do. I've got a lot of stuff going on, and because I have a lot of stuff going on, my obligations keep me going and make me show up every day. You know what I mean? I could be sad. I could be upset. I could, you know, be whatever type of way that I wanted to be, but I'm not going to. Emery got her first bad note yesterday from the school.
Oh, that's a fun day.
And,
did it make you laugh?
no, I was pissed. And of course she was going to her mom's house, and I don't know. Emery wouldn't have liked it if she'd have been coming home to me. And that's what the basis of that conversation was this morning. I was like, I'm gonna bust Emery's ass when she gets home today. And she was like, it was yesterday. And I'm like, because she hadn't, you know what I mean? Like, that's not like, we're not doing those things. That's not what this is about. Like, you know, Emery gonna get right or she's gonna be wrong. You know what I mean? She's gonna know today that daddy don't play that daddy don't play that stuff with teachers. The teacher asked her to clean something up. She said she didn't make the mess. And then the teacher asked her again. She hollered no at her. And I was like, I mean, I text the teacher because we got this little app that we can text the teacher. And I was like, when that happens, the moment that happens, either send her down to the principal's office for some pops or you call me and I'm going to come up there and do it in front of everybody. And I'll come back over here to the office. I'll be on a live like this. I got to go. Emery needs a whooping at school. Like,
well, wait till you start dealing with mean girls at school. That starts in like first grade. It's craziness these days. You know, yesterday, so I've been all in my feels since Kobe got killed this week with his beautiful daughter and all those other the other families that were on board and her teammates. I was actually yesterday at a place just, you know, talking about what I do because I do it all the time. And this guy's like, hey, I got a house to sell. My son died today. I might have to sell his house. Or he said he died yesterday. And I'm like, whoa, that's a lot to take in, sir. Like it was a tragic story, right? But after I talked to the guy's like my age, just like Kobe. His son was 46, died of a stroke, right? And we think about all these problems that we have. Yesterday, Zoe came down. Her hair looked like a Christmas tree that had caught on fire because she tried to brush out her curls. And she was just in tears and shit. And I sat down on the stairs and almost cried with her because, you know how those moments are. I guarantee you there's moments like that where Emery's world is crumbling and you know how ridiculous it is.
Right. No,
you see how big it is to him at the same time, right?
No, it's like, and it's hard to gloss over that. But that's why whenever it comes to everything you got going on, it's like, you know, what from a business perspective, yesterday, I told Jacob at the end of the day, I'm like, I feel like I lost the whole day of my life just trying to figure out some software for a class we're doing this weekend that I don't know if when it comes time to run this software, I love it. I love putting the information in. It's so much fun to put information into it. You know what I mean? It's so much fun to see it, but I don't know how to sort it yet. I don't know how to play with it properly. And there's any number of things I could have done yesterday to move another ball forward that I felt like I was really wasting time, because at the end of the day, we do have a Houston Mastermind. We would love to sell it out. We can only sell, I think, 40 or 50 tickets is the biggest room we could get. And I would love to sell it out, but at the end of the day, that money, whatever we make, is going right back into payroll. It's going to hire somebody to help me handle all the stuff that we're talking about, building out this system, being able to put somebody in a place to, just, hey, here's 500 records I need the zip code on. You know what I mean? That's all this money's going to do, is to get somebody to help book flights for me, to help me grow this business. So we can go out and just smash gurus in the mouth and change people's lives with the best information possible. But when you get asked a question in El Paso and you don't necessarily know the answer, it was kind of like, man, I don't know what, I don't know what to do. I don't want to be in this. I don't want to be standing here in front of people selling you, even though you got your money's worth. You paid $100, you got your money's worth. I don't want to be standing here without that answer, because I didn't try some software.
I mean, all I'm going to say is we've tried a bunch of bullshit. Now is the time to build a system, period. Because we need to buy back our time, right? The only thing I want to do right now is go out and fucking slay on deals and make offers. I love doing that.
Did you run yesterday?
Huh?
How many appointments did you run yesterday?
Let's see, one. Well, I was working 4 appointments yesterday.
How many of them are going to get onto the board?
Right now, none. But 2 of those. What's that?
Well, I mean, it's just the 30 deals a month lie.
The 30 deal a month what?
The 30 deal a month lie.
Oh yeah. No, I've got one that I'm meeting tomorrow. That's going to be a deal. I'm going to lock that one up.
And we locked up one last week off a Bandit sign. How did it turn out?
Well, right now it's good. I mean, which one are we talking about?
Talking about the one that you had
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the one Nick had. No, that one I cut it loose yesterday.
Well, and the one Nick had. Nick contracted one that's got a DiTech loan on it that is just, I mean, that little deal, we better be opting out of that one or throwing the contract away, because that's not a deal. And we instruct everybody to contract it and bring it back. Like, that one in Weatherford, we'll call it, it had a chance. But when you got they had foundation work done, when you got the plumber out there to do a test, it wasn't draining. And it had septic.
And the plumber was like, dude, that tank is foobar. Something's wrong. We couldn't even. And we asked the tenant who sold it to this other dude, this middleman. He's like, or she was like, yeah, I haven't done any service since 2012. There's no telling how many things.
The point is that deal right there was going to be one that if we could stretch the upper limit of the ARV and get it completed on the budget that he was working on. It's an old landlord that flips a house or 2 a year. He knows his business.
Awesome guy.
Awesome dude. But if we could stretch and get it done on the budget he was rolling with, his wife is sick. He needs to sell it. He bought this flip. It's an all cash deal. You don't factor in holding costs or any of that stuff onto this property. But if we could do that, we could make some money. But if we got to put in a whole new septic system, it breaks that deal in half. It takes it, and it's like, look, a septic system for me down here, probably $8,000. I don't know what it's going to be up there. And you and I both know that now they've got new regulations, so they might not even let us do it. And at that moment in time, since it was already going to be, a little 75% deal, not a bad deal. But since it was going to be with holding costs and everything else, it's just not valuable for us to go stretch our time that way. So when you told me about it, I was like, no, if the septic's foobarred, we got to opt out.
But so here,
The 30 deal a month lie is, I mean, look at how many deals we look at every single week.
well, we know what it takes to do 30 deals a month. It's that you're buying them from wholesalers that you're mentoring or something like that. That's how you do 30 deals a month. You give a bunch of people enough knowledge to lock up deals, and
Maybe,
you look at 120 and you've got 30.
maybe. You know a lot of new wholesalers that send you deals, and none of them are actually deals. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, I had a deal down south of you that would have been an okay deal. It was a total gamble because there was no comps, but I had enough sense to look at a bigger picture like you would in this area. I said, this guy calls me and says, hey, I got a deal at this price. And I'm like, well, can you do it for this? He's like, sure. And then he calls me back. He's like, well, I didn't really have it contracted. Somebody else got there before me. It's craziness. And I put a day of my life into dealing with that situation.
Well, and another one, but all we got one guy sent it to me, 3 mobile homes and a house, but the mobile homes don't come with it.
Oh man.
And I was like, I don't want it. I don't want it like this. I want the mobile homes. And then he goes and, you know, he had some family members living there and stuff like that. Now the family members want to move their house off of it. And it goes from one lady's got dementia, so she can't even sign her mobile home over to us, but they do have a lady with a power of attorney, so they're trying to reach out to her. But it might be 2 mobile homes and a house. And at that, it'll stretch and make it. But it went from going to be cash flow, you know, $1,500 a month, pretty much gross rents right from the jump for $60,000, which is insane. But anyways, with a house that needs work, to no money a month gross rents, $0 a month gross rents, and you know they're coming down on the price a little bit, and I think we're going to be able to make the deal work. But even then, if I'm factoring that into our deal flow, I mean, doing 4 or 5, getting 4 or 5 on the board in a month is a great month, and that's the reality, and that's running hard.
So here's the biggest piece of advice a new guy needs to know. If you're going to close 1 deal a month, you better have 5 contracted.
Oh, dude.
Because if you're counting on 1 deal that you have contracted to close, like I talked to somebody yesterday, and I don't want to say too much. They're like, hey, if this deal don't close, I'm literally gonna go bankrupt. It's nobody you know. It's an acquaintance of mine, and I'm like, it's not a deal. Like the numbers just don't work on that. Like, and I'm not trying to be mean. I'm like, look, here's your options. You need to get this in front of an end buyer right now. This is a good deal if you're this and this. And they're like, well, I got to make this work. I'm like, but that's not how deals work. You can't make a deal work. Like it's either a deal or it's not.
Well, I mean, most people, I don't know. I don't know. Like,
and I've been there. I've literally been like January of 2018. January 1st of 2018, I didn't have rent money until noon that day. And that's because Shane wrote me a personal check because we couldn't get a deal to close that he was buying from me. Like, I understand the predicament these folks are in, but you cannot make something that's not a deal work.
Well, that's true. But also at the same time, I mean, you like everybody's going into wholesaling thinking it takes no money and there's no risk.
Yeah, that's not true.
It's not true. Man, it's so far from the truth that it's becoming, you know, even hearing it and seeing the new wholesalers that busted up on hustle is wonderful, right? But scaling that hustle is where it becomes difficult. If you try to scale the hustle, you're looking at what scaled hustle looks like, right? What does scaled hustle look like? It looks like people wanting to work with you because you bring a ton of value to them. What's a ton of value to you if you're a wholesaler? You got to have somebody to buy those deals. You got to have a guaranteed paycheck that you know if you find a deal, somebody can source that capital and close on it. So, you know, aligning yourself from the jump on hustle will bring in people that have money to fund your deals and want to work with you. But that's not what's being taught. What's being taught is, oh man, all you got to do is buy these affiliate links, skip trace this, and get on the phone, and contract it, and you can assign that contract. And I'm not saying it doesn't work, but consistently and being able to do it consistently can prove very, very difficult when people start trying to 80-20 themselves out of a job. You know what I mean? As soon as they step off the front lines, they realize how little they understood about this business.
Bro, I stepped on the front lines because I had a situation where I got laid off, right? And I had like 20 grand in the bank. I promptly went and bought $2,500 in list source numbers that I was getting at 3.5 cents a piece. So I was getting them cheaper than everybody else. And then sent money until I was bankrupt when you met me. Or sent mail. Sent, 5-10 grand worth of mail, paid a couple months worth of rent, and I was out. That was it.
And that's most people's path. That's and my journey at the beginning was way different. I didn't even know you could send a letter and get a house. So you know what I was doing? I was out looking at houses. I was out driving around looking at houses. I was driving an excursion, spending $1,000 a month on diesel, looking at houses. And that's all I knew how to do. And then people want to look at it and say, well, eventually you got to step off and you got to do this and this and that. And everybody wants to brag about how they don't look at deals anymore and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, that's great. You know what I mean? I don't get to look at deals anymore, but you know where I make the most money? The absolute most money. Looking at deals. I make more money on the phone than I do trying to teach people how to be on the phone. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
When like right now, our board has 2 deals on it that are tied up with title issues. Okay. And that's it. That's all that's up there. There's nothing else on the board. We have nothing else. Our pipeline is 100%. We don't have anything ready to close. And in the coming weeks, we refinanced the first house and wrapped it, right? Midhaven. You're staring at your phone.
Answering Cody, sorry.
Anyways, Midhaven, we owner financed it. That private money came back. We got 3 more refis going through, I believe. That's going to bring even more private money back. We're going to have $100,000 in private money come back on Friday. And what else? We got another one, Crescent, which I don't know if that money's coming back in or not, but it don't matter. That would be another $100,000 in private money coming back, and literally no place to put the money.
Right.
So wherever, and one of the things that we've been real sticklers about, at least I've been sticklers about, is not using our platform to buy deals, because we can get good deals from new people, right? People that could not sell them to anybody else other than us. I don't want to go out and do that and make a habit of it. I want us to generate our own leads. I want us to look at our own deals. I want us to be able to do that. And the problem has been, at least from my side of things, is the time of year sets everyone back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not from lack of action. We've had bandit signs. We've ran a pile of leads. We've looked at a ton of houses in the last 2 months. But if they're not a deal, they're not a fucking deal. You can't turn that into money. You know what I mean? You can't go out and contract a whole bunch of stuff that you can't do. You know what I mean? And we assigned one away. And that's the funniest part about it. We assigned one away because we didn't want to go out and raise the private capital to close on it at that moment, because we didn't have the capital. You know what I mean? And then everything we had sold. We sold our property in Corsicana. We've sold everything we had all that stale inventory. We had 13 properties of stale inventory, and all of it either sold or refinanced. And now we've got Pecos Trail, which we're going to have to do a rehab on here directly, and then bump that price up for summer. But other than that, we don't have anything else.
And the moment that rehab is done, that house will sell very quickly.
Oh no, it's gone. We had a ton of interest in it at 150. We just couldn't get it sold. But once we do the outside of it, it's over, gone, sold.
It's gonna. I mean, 20,000 in that house is gonna make a lot of money.
It's gonna make a lot of money. But we've owned that one for almost a year now too.
Yep. So can you hear that? Listen to it.
I hear it.
That's what kids sound like, screaming in your place all day. I guess. Well, I'm going to jump on and start working on these lists, trying to clean this up, and I'm going to get in that folio because I talked to Whitley about this yesterday. Man, I miss a lot of these leads that come in on email, so I'm going to try to set it where it'll text me every lead that comes in on the 2 trailers I'm trying to get rented, so I don't miss anymore.
Check this out. So we had a lady call us back in July about selling her house. Okay. And it didn't convert over. She ended up, when we called back, she didn't want to sell. Okay.
Brennan, I'm going to send you my kids, Brennan. That's funny. He said kids are the worst.
So anyways, we had somebody call us off of Bandit Son back in July. She just called us back. Didn't want to sell in July, and now she's ready to sell all over again.
Is this that Weatherford property?
Oh yeah, it's a Weatherford property, but the app that has the information is currently locked up. So
Yeah, I'm going to give another shout out to newbies here. Stop being like me and Corey both learned this the hard way. Don't put where you're looking at houses in your Facebook deals you're doing, because as Tyler mentioned in the comments here, snakes is everywhere.
snakes are everywhere. They be snaking. I'm on the phone right now about to lock up a deal on a Bandit Sign lead, live on live. You can't get away from the trenches, Spoon.
Your
I
call
love it.
forwarded to an automated voice.
Can I see your house?
What's weird for me is every lead I get's in Weatherford, Texas, or Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri.
Well, look, all right. So Houston this weekend, I'm about to start dumping data in here. I've got 6,800 leads that I'm about to dump in just for Houston, and then I'm going to start piling more data on top of it. It's gonna be fun. We need cleaner tax delinquent data. Spoon.
We can do that. What do you want? Tell me exactly what you want and we'll get it.
I want cleaner tax delinquent data.
What do you mean by clean? I need to, it's hard to interpret for you.
People have addresses. The stuff we talked about at the beginning actually have full addresses.
I got it.
Property address, owner address, full. So
I got my updated list yesterday from that county. I'll start there.
I don't know. You just said you found some appending zip code bullshit. Like, send me that information. We'll just start there. Just send me that information. I will clean up the data we have right now if you send me that information. And but that's what we need to figure out, because whenever I put in those 10,000 the other day, anyways, it didn't do it. Now look, I'm getting a call from the company line. Let's see what this is. Hello?
Hello, this is Kelly calling from your service for GBT Investment as of Michelle Rivera on the line. Calling wanting to view property 105 Avenue Canyon within 30 minutes.
Okay. Does he not have Whitley's cell number?
I tried Whitley and Jacob, neither of them answered.
Try Whitley again.
Oh, Whitley again? Okay.
Yeah. Got a guy trying to view a property. Anyways, all right. So I will holler at you. We're about to put in we covered a lot of ground in here, but if you're not in Houston, if you're anywhere around Houston this Saturday, I better see some faces. Because what's going to end up happening is this is what I'm learning, Spoon. People will support you. The people that support you will support you no matter what. And the only thing that's going to happen with this information is the price is going to go up. The reason why is because I'm not going to continue to supplement. I'm not going to continue to take an L on this. If people want to pay $1,000 to get this training, I'll just train 4 or 5 of them for $1,000, and everybody that can only afford 100 can just sit on the sidelines, because we can't continue to lose money teaching people how to find stuff.
Now, well, it's really funny. What do you think the most valuable thing I got out of that College Station shit show?
What are you thinking?
Right now, to me, right now, it's one contact. Like I got a new, I'm not going to say friend, but I mean, I guess we're friends, but like a work contact that I've gotten more value than I could. Just that one thing, I've gotten so much value out of. That,
yes, the room has a ton of value.
I I talked to that guy too much, but the value I've gotten out of just that one contact out of that room has been incredible.
Well, yeah, no, dude, the room is super valuable. Now, we've had the Dallas Fort Worth Mastermind up for over a month. How many tickets do you think have sold for it?
3.
In the R2R's biggest following is out of the Metroplex. How many tickets do you think have sold?
3.
No, 15.
Oh, that's good.
It is good, but here's the problem: the room alone on that one, I think, eats all of those tickets. Just the room. So it's like then you got to pay for the marketing. Now, having 15 people in there, a 15-person setting is awesome, but I would have thought after doing all of these, the people in Dallas Fort Worth would see all the stuff and all the buzz and come out, but they won't. And I don't know why that is. I haven't figured it out. I really think it's because they've been around so long. They've all been around and they kind of think that they've seen everything that we do. And I don't know how to express that. It's not that we don't show it online, because at some point we always do. It's just I don't think you're going to find when we're doing the beginning of that class and we're actually pulling the data. I don't think people understand how much value there is in that 2 hours of the class.
Well, I don't think. Yeah. So I mean, you've done a bunch of lives that probably covered, I'm going to say 85% of that material. But the values in the discourse is when it's the anecdotal stuff that comes up when we're talking about these things.
The brand new guy's on the phone right there in the front, and he trips over his tongue, and I'm like, nope, say this, say that, say this, like literally standing behind you, telling you, nope, go here, take the conversation there. Oh, he said this, go there. Like they don't understand like the vibe, like what's actually going on in the class.
Like even like, so how shitty am I on the phones?
And you got a lot better.
I am a lot better.
I apologize.
But even me, like I told people to get out of the way at that last one I went to, and I locked up an apartment complex appointment right there in front of them.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like it ain't hard. Like this ain't hard. It's getting in the trenches and doing it, even if you don't like to. And having somebody standing beside you be like, no, don't do this, don't do that. It's really helpful to somebody. Like there's some guys that were pretty seasoned in there that were tripping over their words because they'd never been put in that kind of awkward situation.
Well, and when we bang the divorce list in class, that's it. We haven't been doing it.
We should probably there should be a better way we say that than bang the divorce list.
It don't matter. But when we bang those leads, it like doing the tired landlord list is one thing. I mean, it's always phenomenal. Chad is looking at 64 units out in El Paso off of the marketing we did in class. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know if he'll be able to convert it or not, but everybody there is looking at appointments. Just having the opportunity to go look at some of them is amazing. But the vacant house list, all the other stuff that we did in El Paso, I mean, it was so wide open. But the people that were answering the phone, they had a lot of chops, and they took really good directions, and they murdered it. But we're talking about a class of 30 people. 5 or 6 people answered the phone, over 150 calls answered live in class. 150, spoon. 150 calls answered live in class. That in and of itself, and getting to learn from everybody's mistakes and hear everybody's scripts and everybody's way of doing it, it's just I can't explain it.
Well, look, man, I regret not seeing that dude that was at Corpus. That's just such a long haul for me because I got to make these short one-day trips. Even Houston, I'm going to drive down at 2:00 in the morning, get down there, and I'll come back that night. But I regret not seeing that guy. But the savagery that I saw Tyler drop on people.
But I told the class, I'm giving a lot more direction before we get on the phone now than I was at the beginning. At the beginning, I was just like, okay, everybody, let's go. Phones are ringing. You know what I mean? So learning from that, we've given people good, clear objectives to accomplish while they're on the phone. I gave them the Richard script. Just like I've given it to you. And I seen a dude pull it off flawlessly, brand new, in the class in El Paso. I seen him like twist it like instantly, like boom. No, I don't have a property sale. That's great. Do you have any that are vacant? You know,
I want to see. I think you need to get.
boom, flawless.
You need to get that Richard guy on a podcast.
I did. He's the one that wholesaled a bank.
Oh, okay.
He's on here. He's on. I'll put the link. I don't know if I'll put a link above our heads.
So just so you know, like in my of course, I spend all my time on TikTok while Corey's on Facebook. My video of Pecos Court just hit a little over 41,000 views.
What does that even mean?
I was just putting up all the damage we had from when that place went wrong. I just thought it was funny, man.
It's good. I'm glad you're TikTok celebrity. I'm sure the 15-year-old girls love you.
Oh man, and it pays nothing. Nobody gives a shit about it.
And I'm not getting on TikTok. I don't.
You should.
I say that now. I'll be on there in 30 minutes. But anyways, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to continue loading this data up for the Houston Mastermind. This will be the first one, the very first Mastermind where we've used stack data. I want to see how it goes. I want to see how it goes live in class. We'll have it all set up, ready to go. I think some of this is going to be old data. I think a lot of it's going to already sell. There's ways that you can go through and check all that before you send marketing to it. But I'm just going to do it. This will be the first Mastermind I have preloaded list that we don't pull live in class. We're going to still pull some live in class, obviously, but this will be the preloaded, and we'll see where it takes us. We'll see what kind of excitement we can generate within this, and I really think this is going to hold more value than the other ones. And somebody asked the other day, they're like, "Are you going to include the new information that people didn't get in any of these?" And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that at scale. You know what I mean? I guess I could do webinars over. I might do a webinar over this software if we get good at it. But until then, I'm just gonna keep going live in person. And if you want to come in and look around, come on in and look around. If you don't, I understand too. Kinda pisses me off. You staring at your phone while we do this pisses me off too.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna apologize for that.
We done?
Yeah, no, I was just like, Jeremy just got a door slammed in his face. He just went door knocked that up.
He went door knocked that seven stack.
Yeah. Dude said, I'm in chapter 13. Bam. I said, cool. Leave your information for when he can't pay that lawyer.
Well, it's not even that. He has to pay his mortgage while he's doing that.
Yeah, well, whatever it is, it ain't gonna probably last.
So he door knocked it, and hey, look, seven layers of motivation, and he got his door slammed in his face. Should be pretty interesting.
A lot of people would think that's a home run lead right there. It's got 7 levels of motivation.
Well, they asked me about bankruptcy in the El Paso deal, and I was like, man, people who use bankruptcy aren't necessarily motivated to sell their house. They're either really smart people who are using bankruptcy as a tool, or they're really stupid people using bankruptcy as a tool. Like, there's no in between. You know what I mean? There's no reasonable person in there. So,
well, it's kind of like code enforcement. I'm not a big fan of the code enforcement list, and I'm not saying leads don't come out of it. But on the when you find a code enforcement house that has 341 infractions, if you call them, I promise you, they know their house is a piece of shit.
Yeah,
and in the times I've called, they've already been mad that everybody's called to tell them their house is a piece of shit.
I get that, but code enforcement has some layer of motivation.
I'm not saying they don't have motivation.
A sophisticated human.
I'm just saying that by the time you get there, they're pretty mad.
Spoon. Look, mentality of somebody that says fuck code enforcement isn't a sophisticated human.
I get that.
The person who at least realizes bankruptcy will keep them from going through foreclosure has a certain level of sophistication, but no layer of motivation attached to that. Right? So it's like,
I don't know that I believe you. Like the smart people that use bankruptcy have sophistication. There's people that just file bankruptcy because somebody told them that that's what they should do.
I understand. It takes $1,100 to get that boat off the fucking ground.
$1,100.
So you $1,100 in, and then you have to start making your mortgage payment to honor the bankruptcy. And every time you get a stay filed, it takes more money. Okay. The person who, knows they can file bankruptcy and the person that has the ability are two different humans. Okay. And the motivation that's tied to bankruptcy isn't necessarily there. They think they're smart, you know what I mean, enough to beat the system using bankruptcy. They're not considering selling. Now I did throw it in there. I did throw it in there on the stacked list. I threw bankruptcy list on there because I think it does provide a layer of distressed, you know what I mean, to go with it. Eventually they're going to come out of bankruptcy, but typically whenever they do, the equity's gone.
Hey, I gotta go, man. We just had an accident with one of the kids. I'll talk. Get you later.
Later.